Welcome back, everybody. So, yesterday I went to the Beautiful Happy Goddess Circle, which was led by Essence Turner, who's a radical forgiveness coach, among other things. And I had a really great time. And it actually opened up some things for me that I wasn't quite expecting to have open up, which is why it was a great circle. So that's why I'm telling you guys about it now. So the theme for yesterday's circle was abundance and releasing those little little negative thoughts in our minds, those limiting beliefs, those little nagging things that kind of slow us down when it comes to money and we think about money and we go, oh. So we did a lot of things in the circle. We journaled, we did exercises, we danced, we laughed, we cried, we shared, and we pulled a goddess card at the end to help us, the vibration that we needed to call upon for the next 30 days to help us with our finances. So that was it was really involved it was really interesting. A couple of things that moved me about the circle. And it wasn't necessarily the things that maybe somebody would expect, but that's the joy of becoming. When you go to a healing circle like that, you never know what might come up. And that's the point. So, two things that really inspired me. The first one was when I first got there, I noticed that there was a man in the circle. And I said, "Oh, wow, there's a man." And when he introduced himself to the circle and we went around and we talked about why we were there. And he said that he wanted to get in touch with his inner goddess. And I said, wow, that's powerful. I want to sit next to him. It's not your average man who has the courage to come forth and actually make the effort to dig deep and get in touch with his inner divine feminine. We all have the divine feminine aspect within us, whether we're male or female. But it was very inspiring that he is in touch with himself enough and confident enough to express that. So I was really impressed by that and I was moved by it. And it got me to thinking about my divine feminine, which really hasn't been in expression the way I would like her to be in my life either. The other thing was by Essence being a radical forgiveness coach, she had activities or exercises in the circle that had us deal with the issue of forgiveness. And so I was answering questions doing my little journaling exercise. And when I got to the forgiveness question, like I didn't even finish all the rest of them because I was still stuck on that going, wait a minute, okay, I need to forgive my mother and my father. Those are kind of standards. I think everybody's got some, issues with their parents or whoever brought you up. And if it wasn't your parents still, because they didn't for whatever reason. But also, as I dug deeper, I realized that I need to forgive my soul. I was mad at my soul for choosing my race, for choosing my religion. That's kind of deep. Like that's a little bit extra. But I said, okay, I need to explore this further because I feel hampered in some ways by my soul's choice of gene pool to incarnate into and circumstances and whatnot. And by being an old soul, of course, we choose these like kind of crazy. It's like, okay, why this? Why now? And so, but what was deep about it is that I really need to look into forgiving my very own soul from the level of the personality. So that was a lot. And then the other thing, I mentioned that she had us to pull a goddess card at the end of the circle, which would represent those energies that we needed to draw upon to inspire us, to help us, to guide us in our financial expansion, because the talk was about finances. However, when I pulled the card that I pulled, I was like, okay, we're dealing with a little bit more than finances, but ultimately that financial abundance is tied into the second chakra, which is your creative center. So it's all about exploring the creative, getting in touch with your passion, that divine feminine, like the whole thing just sort of ties together. So going to the goddess circle actually, if you explore, if you dig, if you do what you're there for, if you tap into that divine feminine, you're going to automatically expand your abundance anyway. So, maybe that's why she was guided to bring that up as a topic. But at any rate, I pulled Yamanya, golden opportunity. And I said, oh, when I looked at Yamanya, I was like, ooh, hot, sexy mama, who is quite the contrast, I dare say, from what I look at in the mirror every day. And I thought, the first thing I thought was, I'm really not giving my feminine self, my body, my essence enough attention this whole lifetime. Like I look in the mirror and I see something that looks a little bit more like a dude sometimes. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure if that's okay with me. I'm getting the impression that that probably wasn't the plan. But at any rate, I really have a lot to explore this month, which came from my realizations in the Goddess Circle. So, I mean, I would recommend, if you're in the Atlanta area, I would highly recommend the beautiful Happy Goddess Circle. And if you'd like to know anything more about Essence Turner and her Radical Forgiveness program, or the Circle, or anything else, just put a comment below and let me know, and I will let you know. So until next time, be well.